Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody, man? This your boy Marcus Elbow. Welcome to Healthy Music, and I want to say hey to all my healthy people out there. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're exercising and eating better, and I know you're making some great music. Today, we're going to have a great conversation about as a new producer or as an older producer that's trying to either come back to producing or someone that's new is just trying to get into music production. What does that look like in 2025? Let's talk about it. Hey, live better, feel better, you'll make better music. Someone asked me, they said, Elbow,
What would it look like, or what would it take for someone new coming into, wanting to be a music producer? What would that look like? What would be some of your recommendations for them coming in? What would you recommend that where do they start? Do they start with the MPC? Do they start with a DAW? Do they start with the iPad? What do they start with?
to be honest with you, if I was a new producer, first of all, let's just get a couple things straight. Being a producer now, today, is absolutely fun and easy to get into. I mean, there are so many different ways for you to jump into music production today that it's staggering. I mean, there's so many different ways. I mean, you could go buy you an iPad. You can use your phone. You can go buy you an MPC, and everything is not really too expensive. You got to remember, when I started this, my first keyboard cost $2,900. That's $3,000. I don't even know what that would cost today, probably like 10 grand. But for you to be able to start making music today, brand new, I would go with Koala, and you can get this on your iPhone. I think they have it for Android as well. And Koala is an excellent, well put together app that you don't need anything but your creativity. You could just download this app. I want to say it costs maybe $5, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe even cheaper than that. You can go download Koala. You can start making music right now, and this app will definitely blow you away, especially if you're an older producer. But if you're a newer producer, this would be so easy that you would you would just have so much fun being able to create on your phone. You don't have to go spend a lot of money, and you could just have a great time. And then you could take that, to a bigger studio or a DAW, and then you can actually make that even bigger and even more professional than just having it on your phone. So that would be a great entry level, place for a starting producer to jump straight in right now today. You can go download Koala right now. But if you just wanted to be a little bit more serious, I guess, or you wanted something that's away from your phone, you're like, man, I don't really want to do the apps. It don't feel real to me. If that's how you feel, I would tell you probably the iPad would be the next step. But the thing about the iPad is the entry fee to get into it is probably going to cost you about $400. And with that being said, you could go with the iPad, which will give you a lot of flexibility because you could have Koala on there, and then you also could have Logic as your DAW, and all of this stuff is relatively cheap. I think Logic is going for like $5 on the subscription, and again, like I just said, Koala maybe $5, and then you can integrate all of that stuff, and then you can actually start making music and putting it into a DAW on your iPad and start tracking stuff out that way. That would be great. And the iPad also will accept any type of MIDI protocol. So if you had a keyboard or anything like that, all you would need is an adapter, and then you could hook your keyboard up to that, and then you could start like that. That would be a cool way to get in. But if you were just like, you know what, I don't really want to get into that portion of it because it's kind of technical. I want something a little bit more easier to get into. I don't know what would be easier than Koala, but you could always go with the MPC One Plus. I think the MPC One Plus is an excellent piece of hardware. The learning curve it's okay, especially with the new 3.0. It's going to be a little bit small learning curve. I mean, you're not going to be able to just jump right in, but of course, there's tutorials. I have tutorials, and there's a multitude of tutorials that's on YouTube to help you get started. But the MPC One Plus would be an excellent hardware choice if you were thinking that you wanted to go hardware and you didn't want to really deal with a lot of software and you're not really computer savvy, or you're just like, that's not really what I want. I want something that I could have that's tangible, that's tactile. I want to be able to finger drum, things of that nature. You could definitely go with the MPC One. But if you are computer savvy and you're like, hey, I'm good with the computers, I'm good with the iPad, I got an iPad laying around, I watch Netflix on, then definitely the iPad would be my second choice outside of your phone. Again, the iPad will give you so much flexibility. I mean, I just bought my daughter an iPad Studio a couple of Christmases ago, and she loves it. I bought her an iPad. I got her a keyboard. I think it was the Akai Mini, MPK Mini. I bought her some headphones. I bought her a USB mic and some speakers, and she was off to the races. And I want to say that probably ran me, I don't know, maybe $1,300, everything. And I may be stretching it. It probably was cheaper than that. Maybe $1,000. But if you are an older producer and you have had the keyboards and you've had all of the equipment and you were really, really trying to seriously get back into making music, and you know what you want to do, you know where you want to go, you just want to try to find the right equipment to fit what you used to, kind of do. And if you wanted to come into it with the same nostalgia, like having a keyboard or something like that, I would recommend the MPC 37. The MPC 37 is an awesome piece of gear, especially for keyboard players. If you are a keyboard player or you're an Phantom user or Triton user or whatever you used to use back in the 90s, early 2000s, and you really want to keep that nostalgia, I would go with the MPC 37. And if you are a real serious keyboard player, I would go with the MPC Key 61. That will put you where you need to be, because again, that is a pretty nice piece of gear to start with. If you are into playing and you really want to hit the ground running and you want to have everything you need right there, that's where I would go. Now, for new producers, if you know how to play, and you took a couple of piano classes or whatever, you could always go with the 37 as well instead of you going with the MPC One Plus. Essentially, it's the same machine. The only difference is that the Plus is more compact, it's small. You can move it around a little bit. The 37 is small, but it is not as mobile as the MPC Plus. Now, I know some of y'all are probably watching this video and all like,
hold up, Elbow, what about the MPC Live 2?
The MPC Live 2 is awesome. If you're just a producer that's really trying to get mobile, you want a piece of gear that can move around with you, you can jump around from place to place, then that's where we start getting into the MPC Live 2 series of gear to get, because it comes with a speaker on it, it's Wi-Fi, it has a battery, you don't need to have it always attached to a plug, and it is a phenomenal piece of gear. So if that's where your budget is, and your budget is like, hey, I could pay for a MPC Live 2, and then, that would be a great place for you to start as well. Look, at the end of the day, I think that it really boils down to what you want to do as far as a music producer. How serious are you about your craft? And then what is your budget? You know what I mean? Like, the budget is super important, because if you're a new producer and you don't have a lot of money, then using your phone would be excellent. That's the easiest way to get into it. But if you are a new producer and you have a little money, you've been saving up, you in your mind, you're like, I know what I want. I want to be able to come in. I want to come in hard. I've been watching all these YouTube videos. I've been watching Elbow playing with all these toys. I want to come in and hit the ground hard and hit it running. Then I would recommend something like a MPC Live 2, if that's what you wanted to do. But again, that's a very large investment for someone that's new. Now, if you mess with MPCs in the past and you're an older producer and you really are serious about getting back into this music making game, then yes, the MPC Live 2 is a perfect choice as well. But we're not gonna make a video about what I believe is the best machine. I'm just trying to make a video really discussing where would you start now, today in 2025, if you haven't had any equipment for a while and you were looking for a way to get back into making music and you really didn't know where to start. You know what I mean? And we haven't even talked about DAWs because there are some excellent choices out there. I know a lot of people don't like subscriptions. I get that. But let's be honest. If you want to mess with something like Studio One, Reason, or, Logic, well, Logic's going to cost you about $2.99. But again, you can't get the Logic on the iPad for $5. You can get into the DAW music making game relatively cheap because I think some of those subscriptions are like $14 a month. I think Reason may be $20. And you can kind of get a feel of it to see if that's where you want to be at as far as, do you want to make music using that device or a computer versus the hardware? Again, we are living in a golden age of music creation right now. And there are so many options that we could sit here and we could talk all day about the different ways that you can express yourself musically, you know what I mean, in 2025. So that's kind of what I recommend. If you're a newcomer and you're an older producer, I would recommend some of those things there. And if you want to elaborate, you want me to elaborate a little bit more on this, get down in the comments, let's have a discussion. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about, some great options out there from a music creation standpoint for someone that's new to get started? I don't know everything out there, but I think some of the things I hit, again, I could have talked about the SP404, but the SP404 has a very steep learning curve. Teenage Engineering also has the KO2. So we could just go through a list of different things that you could get started with. But at the end of the day, it really is going to boil down to what you're comfortable with learning, what you're comfortable with spending, and how serious you are about really getting back into making music. Okay. But listen, man, hey, y'all already know what it is, man. Listen, we're back in 2025. I'm trying to make these videos. We're going to be knocking them out. If you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate if you go ahead and subscribe. We got to hit 30,000 this year. I mean, that's my goal this year. We're going to hit 30,000. Right now, we had 25,000. So everybody, if everybody that watched this video hit the subscribe button, we'll get there halfway. You know what I mean? So do me a favor and go ahead and hit that sub button. And if you're looking for any type of tutorials, you're looking for any type of courses, I would advise you to go over to elbowmediastudios.com. That's where our home base is. So you can go over there, man. We got courses. We got beats over there. We got the Beat League Lounge. You can actually become part of the Beat League Lounge over there. And we also have gear if you want to buy some Beat League gear, stuff of that nature. But remember, all of this stuff helps support the channel because YouTube ain't paying us no money, man. You know what I mean? So definitely go support us over there at elbowmediastudios.com. And if you're looking for some gear, the best place to go in my mind to buy gear is Zounds. I got links down in the description. All of those are affiliate links. It will not cost you anything extra if you use the link. It just helps me out, helps the channel out by giving us a little bit of something just for putting that link down there. So if you're looking for some gear and you're definitely trying to get started or you're coming back, go check out those links. Go check out my link because I have a link down there that has all the gear that I have purchased from Zounds, and you can kind of get a clear understanding of what I use inside of my studios or whatnot. Okay? All right, man. Listen, it's been your boy Marcus Elbow. This has been Healthy Music. Remember, live better, feel better, make better music. I'll catch y'all in the next one. All right, man. One peace. I'm out.